Hi, welcome to the final video on the collected archives from Kenny Norris. So the last uh, article chapter in the collected archives is about conflict, and Kenny says that conflict in RPGs and solo RPGs is such a massive subject. He could have written an entire book about it, and I really wish he had. If he had done, I'd have bought it. But so Kenny goes through and he kind of breaks it all conflicts, whether it's internal conflicts, social conflict, or of military style conflict. He breaks it out into four parts: the goal, the meaning, the stakes, and the opposing force. And it doesn't matter which one you start with. You know, if you know, if the whole premise of the campaign maybe there's a dragon that's going to burn a kingdom, then you've defined your opposing force. The opposing force is the dragon. In that case you can start there. On the other hand, it could be that if the prince has been tied to the stake and the dragon's going to eat him, then and it's kind of all the pressure is put on the characters to rescue the prince, then you're talking about the stakes. What's at stake, and it could be their reputation as great knights. It could, you know, but so it doesn't matter whether it's the goal, the meaning, the stake, or the opposing force, which one you go for. But for the conflict you know, to really play out well, you kind of do need all four. I'm I'm totally on board with that. Uh, so the goals is why is your character going to lay down their life for this, or potentially lay down their life for this, put their life on the line in a social conflict, or even romantic conflict? Why are they going to put themselves out there? What is it that's worth so much to them? And as long as you've got that kind of why is it so important, then your conflicts will have meaning. And it's worth having less conflict, less fights, less battles, whatever, but having them being important. And now I'm well known as not being a fan of dungeon crawls, and this is one of the things where dungeon crawls often fall down, because the idea of killing monsters to take their stuff is a pretty weak goal. Um, Whereas, yeah, dealing with the whole dungeon might be, to save the village. That's a good goal. But just killing monsters that take their stuff is pretty weak. And often I find dungeon crawls often have quite a weak kind of plot line. The whole kind of narrative background to them is quite weak. And I think often it's because they fall down on this goal aspect. The meaning, you know, um, it's kind of similar to the goal, but why is it important to the characters? What the goal, what they want to achieve. It could be to, they, the goal could be to save the village, but why do they care about the village? It could be one of millions of villages. Um, so the goal is a specific. The meaning is more personal. And I think, yeah, now we're getting down into the role playing side as opposed to the sort of mechanical goal. Now, the stakes and the meaning, I think, kind of cross over, but it's there are differences. What is at stake if they lose? That's what you're thinking about here. Meaning is why they want to achieve it, but what's at stake? If they lose, it could be their life, it could be emotional hurt, it could be an NPC that's at stake. There's a list here, kind of the NPC's home. That this is talking about saving a village. Yeah, kind of. Why would they care about the village? What's at stake uh, if they fail to save the village? It could be their home, their birth village. You there's all kinds of reasons why you could focus on a specific village, but this is where having less but more important conflicts actually works out, because if every single village had some kind of deep-rooted meaning, it might be, you it becomes a little bit kind of mechanical. Oh, yes, another reason to save the earth. Um, and then we get down to opposing forces, and again, Kenny's trying to bring in the whole kind of um, conflict, and it isn't just about fighting. It could be political, social, um, and he gives things to think about where the opposing force might have different values, beliefs, thoughts, obligations. Um, it could be completely internal, a want for revenge and a, a need to forgive and a desire for revenge. That's an internal conflict, completely different opposing emotions. So, you know, I think this is a really, really good chapter. It would be very interesting to try and build some kind of structure. I see a lot of adventure generators or encounter generators. It'd be really interesting to see if someone has taken these ideas and built a really meaningful encounter generator or conflict generator, taking all these ideas and kind of building them into some kind of Mad Lib structure, and then maybe creating little sub lists you can use to fill out. But yeah, it isn't me, that's for sure. I haven't done it. But yeah, I think this is a really, really good chapter. It's worth reading about, pondering about, and seeing what you can apply to your own games. And if you take nothing else from it, just kind of try to remember that goal, meaning, stakes, and opposing forces. And it's only four things, and you, uh, you take what you know, and then try and fill out the others to give more meaning to your conflicts. Yeah, good chapter. It's a nice strong end to the Collect the Archives. Okay, thank you for watching.